So it's very interesting because every single time I pick up this particular iPhone, I always get the sense that it ends up getting like worse and worse almost every single time where I go through and actually use this particular phone. Now, this particular iPhone is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And I don't know what other way to describe it because it is such an interesting thing that ends up happening. So to give you some perspective, right, I don't use the iPhone 12 Pro Max on an everyday basis. I use it every once in a while, whenever I get the chance to. I will go ahead and basically pick up this iPhone most of the time for comparisons and whatever. But the weirdest thing is that almost every single time I go through and pick up this iPhone, I end up getting the sense that it ends up becoming a little bit less stable. And there's always some like weird like performance issues I almost end up getting more so than I ever got before. So like I said, I go, weeks, if not months without using this particular iPhone. And I only really use it when I'm comparing it against other devices and different, things like that. And a majority of the time, I'm also updating the software within this particular iPhone as well. So since this iPhone came out, I think it came out on iOS 14. I've been updating all the software versions on all these devices and just kind of keeping it up to date for the most part. But it is insane to me that the number one issue that I keep getting with this particular iPhone is the stability. It seems like every single time I pick it up, it becomes a little bit less and less stable, and I'm not even too sure what to say about it or do about it because it ends up happening so frequently that it just ends up being a weirder and weirder iPhone the longer and longer it's still supported with software. Now, I like the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I always felt like the battery health issue on these iPhones was very weird, but I like the build quality of it. I think the display of this thing looks pretty good, and there's really like not a lot to hate on it. The frosted glass back still feels very premium and very good on this phone, and I even would argue that the 12 Pro Max's camera setup on the back is actually still holding up fairly well for the most part as well. But when it comes down to that stability aspect with the software, my iPhone 12 is fine, my 12 Pro is basically fine, but I've had the weirdest thing with my 12 Pro Max where just the random glitches would happen, and I don't know if it's particularly this 12 Pro Max in general. The battery health isn't even that low on this particular iPhone to experience any throttling going on, so that was another weird thing that's going on too. I don't think this is like a common, like all 12 Pro Maxes are like this, but I start to think to myself, like, how did this iPhone get worse the more I ended up using it, the longer I, ended up being supported? My other iPhones that came out around this time aren't experiencing nearly as much stability issues as this one. So that was always something that was very, very weird to me. So just giving you all a heads up, if you own a 12 Pro Max, I'd recommend keeping it up to date with software. But even on my, iPhone 12 Pro Max, that's on the latest version of software right now, it's still experiencing some very, very weird issues. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.